The West should not be afraid to help Ukraine is the main thesis of Estonia's plan, according to which the Ukrainian side will win the war. And Kyiv can do this in 3 years. As analysts note, this is currently hampered by the indecisiveness of the Western allies.
If the military-industrial sector of the West had been given a clear signal from the very beginning of the war that production volumes needed to be significantly increased, they would have been completely different today. But politicians hesitated, didn't give a sense of confidence, and now this is one of the reasons for the insufficient volume of production. Indrek Kanik, director of the International Center for Defense and Security, in the comment to ERR.
The plan for Ukraine's Western victory over Russia was prepared by the Estonian Ministry of Defence. They believe that the main task is the consolidation of the member countries of the Ramstein Group. The result will be visible with the naked eye, since the difference of GDP between Russia and the states of the defense group is colossal, 2 trillion euros versus 47 trillion euros. To date, 0.2% of this amount has been allocated to help Kyiv.
The volume of the Western economy is tens of times larger than the Russian economy. There is a huge difference here. The problem is that Russia has already switched to a war economy. That is, they already have half of their economy working directly for this. But it is not like in the West. They have not yet woken up, so to speak. Here we should rather talk about how willing European countries are to allocate at least 2% of GDP specifically to defense capabilities. And even these 2%, the part that would be transferred to Ukraine, namely 0.2%, a tenth, would already be enough for Ukraine to be able to resist the enemy much more.
To implement Estonia's plan, Kyiv's allies must increase production in the defense industrial sector. It took Tallinn 2 years to launch an ammunition factory. However, experts believe that with proper political assistance, such terms can be reduced.
This discussion is ongoing. I can't say that Europe won't change today. On the contrary, it is now doing a lot for this. Some more, some less, but in general the pattern is quite normal. Estonia's plan on this issue simply highlights all this work that is going on in the EU.
At the end of 2023, Ukraine faced a delay in the allocation of assistance from the EU and the United States. However, the authors of the Estonian plan for the victory of Ukraine believe that problems with sending financing to Kyiv will be overcome in Brussels and Washington in the near future.
Aid to Ukraine will continue, and although we saw some problems in Brussels with Hungary, with Prime Minister Orban, also in the US Senate in Washington, these decisions will still be made.
Let me remind you that on January 12, 2024, Ukraine and the United Kingdom signed an agreement on cooperation in the field of security. The agreement is designed for the next 10 years or until Ukraine joins NATO. As part of the signed document, London will provide Kyiv with an assistance package worth more than 3 billion. In turn, Estonia promised to send assistance to Ukraine, which amounts to 0.25% of its GDP for 4 years. Analysts note that such agreements will become a stronghold of stable support for Kyiv. Reported by Nikita Skoblikov, Galina Babenko, UATV News.